Good morning, midday, afternoon, whatever time it is you're watching our faces right now, or bodies, whatever you can see of us. We're here to talk about movies.
Movies and TV shows, specifically on this episode.
Usually we talk about the shit we've been watching and we go into a banner thing and blah, do a theme, blah, 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 like Halloween. But today we're just going full on Thor Ragnarok and Stranger Things Season 2. Stranger Things 2 as people call it. Because that is the shit we've been watching. And it's epic.
The shit we want to talk about.
Start with Thor. Go.
Start with Thor Ragnarok. So,
break it down.
Thor Ragnarok. When the trailers hit for this movie, you weren't impressed, were you? And we actually had a post recording session conversation about how I thought the trailer looked amazing. I even made you watch the second trailer, didn't I? Which I think you thought looked a bit better than the first one.
I didn't like being told what to do, by the way.
What? Because I made you watch the trailer. Well, you're going to get made to watch more trailers if you refuse. And
the film came out.
Yeah, the film came out, and I am happy to say that I think it lived up to the hype. I think it was really good. I think it was very, very funny.
It's a comedy more than an action film.
It was. We will obviously touch on this more. I think in some ways the comedy aspects almost cause some problems from a perspective of character development and stuff like that, and how, okay, we'll go straight into it. I mean, it's almost like I prefer it the way it is. Yeah. But Thor has almost become a different character now.
Like the first Thor film.
A very different personality, which you could argue that, he's changed the events of the other films, hanging around with people such as Tony Stark, may have rubbed off on him.
Made him a bit more lighthearted.
But he is like in the first movies, he was very sort of almost Shakespearean theatrical type character, whereas now he's almost like John McClane now. He's just quipping all the time.
He is. He has definitely changed, and in this one he was quipping more than ever. And
should we say, sorry, before we go any further, that this podcast stroke vlogcast will contain spoilers.
Spoilerific.
We will put it in the notes.
Spoilerific.
Just to get that up front.
Yeah, it is. But it was, for me, I can't pronounce the director's name, but I've watched all of his movies. And the word,
is it Taki Watiti?
Yeah, he's wonderfully New Zealand-esque name. But he did really good work on Flight of the Conchords back in the day, and then he's moved on to What We Did in the Shadows.
What We Did in the Shadows is
Hunt for the World People.
Also amazing.
It's lovely to see Marvel giving someone the chance to do a film someone like him. To do a film like that, and it's just so good. And the best bits were I like Thor. I didn't mind. I think they've definitely overhauled Hulk a lot. He's much more Ruffalo-esque, and he's chatty as hell. Never been chattier.
Definitely. I mean, I know obviously from a Hulk perspective, the movie's heavily influenced by sort of Planet Hulk, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it was quite not jarring in a bad way, but when he went straight, I mean, I know we saw on the trailers that he was talking a bit, but he was very coherent, wasn't he?
Chatty, really chatty.
I know he wasn't. It wasn't Bruce Banner. It wasn't the same personality, but it was a very coherent Hulk.
But it was a good buddy system he had with Thor. The buddy system there's a couple of buddy systems going with Thor and Hulk. And then Thor and Loki was still a bit of a backstabber /
Do you think
chameleon type character?
Do you think that it's getting a little bit overdone now? The whole, I know it kind of became a bit meta. Where
I think that's the last time we can probably see.
He sort of said, "I knew you were going to do it," type thing.
Yeah. So he spoiling again. He kind of had a moment where he stabbed Thor in the back, then he kind of redeemed himself.
Yeah. Well, he stabs him in the back, but it's not just the fact he stabbed him in the back. It was the fact that Thor saw it coming. He sort of was like, come on, mate.
Cool.
You've done it enough times now. I think I saw that coming. Sort of thing.
Yeah, it was quite good. And the stories actually worked quite well for me. That opening sequence, which we thought was a bit of a lull, actually, with the big underground monster, whatever he is, actually was one of the most integral parts of it because
Yeah. I mean, the gag on the chain was brilliant. I could see it coming, but where he was sort of very slowly turning and as he's talking to the big fiery guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, hold on. I'll be in a second.
It's a good joke.
It's really slowly.
Massive overuse of Led Zeppelin's Immigrant Song. I thought, it's just a trailer track. popped up at the start. Okay. Then it popped up at the end, which is actually, for a Marvel film, wasn't a loud, big, loud, noisy ending. I've got a big issue of Marvel endings at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, noise. Loads of noise everywhere. Avengers 2, noise, shouting, explosions, things falling out of the sky. Captain America 2, Winter Soldier, just things falling out of the air again.
Yeah.
But this was a good ending. It was well structured, really kinetic action, really good. Led Zeppelin played, of course, and yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that it was better than the first Guardians of the Galaxy, but it definitely took what they'd learned from that movie and applied it to 4. Because the problem
made space fun.
Yeah, and the problem with 4 is it seems to have struggled to, as a single entity, a single movie series, it struggled to find its place within this universe. I mean, Iron Man's got its popularity. Captain America's done well. I mean, I know it had a bit of a lot of people felt the first Captain America was a bit shaky. I liked it, to be fair.
Liked it. Really good.
But certainly with the second one, it found its
in Civil War, obviously, it was Avengers 2.5, and
yeah, pretty much was. But you know, 4's always been the one that's been a bit. I don't know, just not. It was never bad films, but they used to miss the mark by a little bit.
This one, Doctor Strange, the
cameo at the
he
start,
made it really good. I think the only weakling was actually the Valkyrian, the young lady. I can't remember what her name is. Who got all the good reviews because she just didn't sell herself as a hard drinking alcoholic, guilt-ridden woman to me. She was too clean cut for that, and
yeah, I felt she was okay because she kind of reminded me of. It was almost like they were going for the Han Solo type character, the sort of like pirate-y. Like been there, done that. Why, I'm wasted.
I'm in the backwaters of space now.
Yeah, exactly.
Sort of
want to
and that planet, the Junker planet, was really cool. And Jeff Goldblum was kind of the man. It headed it all up.
Let's talk Jeff Goldblum. Is there anything that man can't do? I mean, he was hamming it up, but like in a good way.
Really good way.
He, as this sort of like. He was almost like this tyrant that obviously ruled this place.
He's like the guy from Julian from the Running Man, really, wasn't he? He was kind of like a ringleader, but a lot more nice, a lot more approachable. Yeah. And he had that horrible woman, that henchwoman, that stood next to him all the time, just freaking growling at people.
Oh yeah, she's from Hunter Water People as well.
Yeah,
she was the sort of officer,
liaison
wasn't
officer.
She? Yeah. She's good. She's got that very sort of...
The film, we're not talking about... It feels like we're talking about 4 films, really, but so much happened in Thor. Like, so many beats and so many cool flitting between Earth and that planet, underground planet, and then the Junker planet, and then there's obviously the Easter eggs at the end, which really opened it up for us. And
yeah. I mean, I think one thing I will say is that the focus, certainly in the trailers, and this is evidenced by the way we've been talking now, is that the sort of the Ragnarok part of the story involving Cate Blanchett, who we've not even mentioned yet,
she was good.
Took kind of a back seat to the sort of...
She was always on her own, just wandering around with Carl Urban chasing after her.
With who, sorry?
Carl Urban.
Oh, Carl Urban, yeah. His character was alright. I felt like it tried to... I think the problem with his character was they tried to give us a kind of redemption.
Give an arc, didn't they?
But we just hadn't had enough time to really care. Do you know what I mean?
Would have rather just a one-dimensional but really impressive-looking baddie as opposed to a bean-headed bloody Carl Urban wandering around.
Why did he have a Cockney accent? Was that... random, wasn't it?
Gave us a free reign of a character. Cate Blanchett, she was good. She was a really strong baddie, formidable, but she was just on her own, wandering around these steps most of the film.
I think for me, it where they missed a trick is they didn't. I mean, there didn't seem to be any impact from the fact that was for. And I mean, okay, it's Loki's adopted sister, but like, it was kind of just like. Brother, sister, but there was kind of no like Thor didn't seem to be that arse.
She destroyed his hammer, and
he was kind of like he didn't seem to be like. Well, hang on a minute, oh my God, you haven't told me about this sister. He was just kind of like, oh right, fair enough.
Burning questions are: will he get his hammer? His hammer's gone, by the way. Spoilers. Will he get his hammer back? He won't get his eye back. Will he get his hammer back?
Did he lose his eye in the comics? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I think that's known in the comics.
So is he going to turn into a woman next?
No, he'll still as a man. He's just lost his eye.
Yeah.
He won't get his eye back.
Is he back to being a man in the comics now?
That's why they say. That's why we're not seeing the trailer for Infinity War. It's because we had to wait for Ragnarok to go out around the world, because Ragnarok came out here before it came out in America, and so we're waiting for it to come out everywhere because the trailer for Infinity War is going to show him no eye, and they didn't want it to spoil the.
Right.
So that's why you're not seeing any fucking really decent trailer for Infinity War yet.
I did. Speaking of eyes, I don't know why I liked it so much, but I do like the imagery on when Thor went Thunder God badass at the end, and his eyes were glowing and all that sort of thing. I thought that worked really well.
How did he have his hammer then?
No, that was after because his hammer. Because there was the whole. It's quite cliche, but you got the voiceover from Anthony Hopkins, where he's saying, "Oh, the power was in you," type thing. Do you know?
How was he beating people up at the end? He used his hammer though.
Because he goes a Thunder God, doesn't he?
I want to see him have a hammer. I want to see him have a hammer. I want to see him have a hammer.
He just kept on from being cute. This is not what I'm used to.
Girls experience.
Get the Homer Simpson
overall, it's a solid 4 out of 5 film, and the best Marvel film I've seen in years. They get better, don't they? It's much better than Spider-Man. I know they're very different movies, but if we're going Marvel,
yeah, I mean, I think it, like you said, it's. I mean, the scene. I really liked the gladiator arena type scene.
Yeah,
it's a shame. I think. Going off on a tangent a little bit now, it's a big. I don't know if this has always been the case, and I just wasn't aware of it. But I'm starting to have a big problem with trailers showing the best bits.
Yeah, they're really bad.
It's getting really bad for it now, and I mean that. Imagine if you went into that movie not realizing that part happened. Do you know what I mean? Where Hulk comes smashing up.
Great surprise it'd be.
It'd be so amazing.
Look at the Jurassic Park trailers and exercising great trailers.
Yeah,
the first Jurassic Park movie.
But it's like with comedy movies, isn't it? They put the best jokes in the trailers now. Yeah. You know, like I'm not saying it was a great comedy or anything like that, but I remember a few years ago watching, that Bad Neighbours movie, and it was like literally all the jokes were in the trailer. So when I watched it, I was like, well, it's not just a crap movie, but it's just.
Hey, it wasn't a crap movie.
I've seen all the jokes already.
Good movie.
No, but it ruined the experience because I'd already seen the best bits. If you know what I mean.
Right. I liked it.
I thought it was fine, but I just thought it was, for me personally, I think I would have enjoyed it more had I not seen the trailer.
I agree,
but I don't have the self-discipline to not watch trailers.
I know. I've got a friend, Dave Cove, who loves our channel. He would not ever watch a trailer. I don't think he ever has done.
Good lad.
Goes into films.
Good lad. This is a random. I'm not going to say it's a shout out, but there's I guess he's a journalist, but he's like an internet personality called Jeff Kanata, who does the podcast for Slash Film, and he's adamant, like it's a big thing that they always talk about on their podcast, that he will not watch trailers. And
why don't we not watch trailers next year and see how it goes?
I don't know if I can do it.
I'll do it for us.
What am I supposed to do with my time?
Good point. Yeah. I might do it for us.
I'd like to do it. But can you imagine? Can you imagine me not, like, if we'd done it this year? Can you imagine me not watching the Last Jedi trailers?
Oh, hang on! It means I can't read trailer breakdowns, but I love doing, doesn't it? I love watching a trailer, then reading a breakdown after. Oh fuck! I'll think about it. Maybe New Year's resolution.
Maybe we'll do it for a month.
Yeah, like quite a month when no trailers comes out. But Thor good. Moving on. Stranger Things. Do.
Okay. So
it was
Stranger Things 2. Sorry, I'll let you finish that sentence. I've ruined it. It's good. Better or on par or worse than the first one?
Better than season 1. Better than season 1, even with an episode that is an absolute misstep, is still better than season 1.
Do you, when you say that, and I will say that I agree there was an episode that really I didn't like. It wasn't I didn't like it, but I just felt it was not made in the right way.
I didn't like it. It was poor.
Is it the episode where 11 disappears off?
It's the Lost Sister, episode 7,
yes.
And it is poor. It's like let's go just talk about the good, because
I'm glad that we agree on that.
I mean, the reason I like season 2 is because it keeps it all in. Why the fuck have I forgot the name of the town?
Jesus, I can't remember what it's called. Hawkins.
He is a drinking, doesn't
Hawkins,
Hawkins, yeah. So I love it. It's kept in Hawkins. I love it that it's a year. I think if the directors had their chance, the Duffer Brothers have pretty much said it's only because the kids have got so pissing big. They've had to skip it forward a year.
Yeah.
They didn't want to skip it forward.
Stop growing, kids.
They didn't want to skip it forward a year or so. They wanted it to be a day after, pretty much, to show that the tunnels have grown and the upside down is definitely still within Hawkins. But I liked that, and I don't think they needed to hammer it in our heads every minute on every lawn Reagan versus Bush, 1985. I get it. It's,
we know what year it is.
I know.
You can put that year at the start, and we know.
I know it's the. It's an ET toy there. I know it's the.
Ghostbusters,
I know it's the early
references.
80s. But no, I love it. It's first 3 episodes. Harry, I could see my wife was getting a bit like glazy eyes. It was plodding, but you could plod me through 9 episodes, and I wouldn't mind.
The problem is, it really does play into people like us that sort of, I don't know what you call us, but almost like
shoegazers, aren't we?
We're fans of geek culture, and Stranger Things is one of those shows that I'm not trying to take anything away from them and say that that they've not imagined this stuff for themselves, but it's very it's constant nods to everything
Dragon's
you can
Lair,
think of.
Putting too much money into Dragon's Lair, infamously rip-off game. Talking about loot crates, that was the biggest rip-off going Dragon's Lair was.
Exactly.
The plot work, and Hopper is one of my favourite characters.
Brilliant.
I love it. The lab, the central lab, you always see a lush shot of it.
Yeah.
They turn good to a degree, but you don't know they're good till you're like, oh no, they're bad. They're just bad.
But that's another thing that I love about it is the fact that, in a sort of meta way, not only are they like I said, references all this 80s stuff, but they're casting like 80s stars, aren't they? Obviously, Winona Ryder, Sean Astin, and then I've forgotten his real name, but obviously the main scientist guy.
Who is that bloke? Sorry.
He's from was he Burke from Aliens? The guy that lets out the facehuggers for the Ripley. It's that guy. Yeah, it's the same guy. I don't know his name.
There's a lot of cast on that, but I think it was just really, really good. And I like the way that every character, like the older brother of the stepbrother of the new girl, I can't remember her name.
Oh God, he was fucking.
He's a baddie. I'm like, Sean Astin's a baddie. The scientist, but no one was a baddie. There was no baddies in it.
Yeah, a lot of people thought. I thought the same. I thought
he was a robot.
When who? Sean Astin?
No, I thought Sean Astin was going to be a baddie put in the house as a spy.
When he was having the conversation about it, it felt like he was deliberately giving him wrong advice, didn't it? When he was saying in the car and he was saying, "Oh, you need to
face it down,
go away."
Just went tits up for him after that, did it? Well, I think Will is a great character. Season 1 and 2 are pretty much. There could be one season of a TV show, one epic. So I think season 3 he needs to have no more angst that someone else shoulder it maybe. Have no more be connected to the upside down.
Yeah.
But I think 11 is going to be the main focus.
They need more focus on 11 because she is the coolest character.
And they got away. What a risk not having to meet the guys until episode 9, the last episode.
And it really worked.
What a risk, because her and Hopper had a great relationship.
Brilliant.
I know we're going on and we're not slagging it off much at all. We will in a minute though, because we're episode 7. It's such a great exercise how to do a TV show. Steve, a character that was such a dick.
I was about to say Steve is my favourite character.
Do you know he's 25 in real life? What? I know.
He's my favourite character.
Just great, isn't he?
He's awesome. I mean, because he had that, like you say, in the first series, he had that redemption arc where, like you said,
about at the end,
he was a massive douchebag.
Yeah.
And then just at the end when you think he's ran off and he's fucking turned, like he just comes back with a baseball bat with nails in it, and you're like, oh, he's a badass.
Yeah, he's a badass.
And your heart breaks for the older brother of Will's older brother, who's like, Steve's gone at last, and then oh no, he is pretty cool actually. Turns out he is cool after all.
Yeah, he's decent.
But obviously, Will's brother gets it. What's Will's brother's name again?
Michael.
Is it Michael Byers?
I think it's Michael. Mike Byers.
Is that on purpose? Michael Byers.
I think it's Michael 2, is it? And Mike's 11. Mike's the
oh god.
Well, whatever. But
oh no, yeah, Mike's one of the young kids, isn't it?
Yeah, Mike's Finn Wolfhard's character. But then we do move on to episode 7, which a lot of people have heard on the internet. Which it's not only. I don't mind bold moves like taking out of Hawkins for an episode needs to be done for maybe the lifeblood of a show to last 3 or 4 or 5 more seasons.
Yeah,
because it is going to move out of Hawkins and go somewhere else.
Yeah,
but the characters, what of shit city 80s characters. Got a punk who all unlike. I just said, well, I hope they all just die. I hope they all die because they were just annoying me. And the background is 11 met up with a spiritual sister kind of thing. And who's bad, I think.
Yeah, well, I think she strikes me as that sort of. It's going to be that character where she's not necessarily bad as in like an evil person, but she's got to that point where she's willing to cross the line, isn't she? She's so it's almost like Levin's not going to want to associate with that. It's like no, I'm not willing to cross that line into like killing people.
I think season 3, Duff Brothers said they're going to try and skip forward a year or two in season 3 because they don't want to do 90s, but because they're just getting big, the kids are. But I think she's probably the antagonist, or maybe I think something's going to happen there. But
they're going to have to introduce the more of the numbers, aren't they?
Well, they're saying. Did you see the link where I did have gone on the internet for this? But Hopper's daughter, when it does a flashback to him in season 1, you see a flashback to him and the railings and his daughter and things. There was a polarity of a scene when he went down to see the doctor on the stairs. It's mirroring scenes, and they reckon maybe Hopper's daughter was tested on.
Okay,
but either way, there's loads going on. The Duffer Brothers are quite clever, but for a season, 9 episodes wasn't enough for me, and that 7 was for 7 soul episode 7 soul message was she needs to go back home because of her, she loves her friends, and Hopper she kind of loves as well. I don't think we needed it. I think me and you could have probably found a better way of doing that.
I think my biggest problem with that episode was
hard to watch.
That it was not just the fact that it wasn't as good. I mean, I just felt that episode could have worked had it been broken up into pieces and been over the course of more episodes. Do you know what I mean?
You could easily have done.
It all happened in one episode.
That's the compromise they had to make. There, they had to do. Do we take people out of Hawkins for 5 episodes in little snippets, or do we just throw? So they probably made the right choice there, because
I don't know.
Taking us out of Hawkins might piss us off.
But I don't know if I agree with that. Only from the perspective of, I know that she was technically in Hawkins, but she was in a shack, so she was you were still being taken away from the core story, even though it might have been location wise.
Took me a while to realise that that's Hopper's
granddad's or something.
Yeah, I thought that was his house anyway. I thought he lived in a shack. He lived in a shack in the woods anyway.
Yeah. I think I did until they showed the flashbacks.
I love the nuances when she goes under his granddad's house to ferret out some stuff, and then there's a box saying Vietnam. Hopper was obviously in Vietnam. Presumably it's Hopper in Vietnam, not his granddad. Yeah. Hopper was in Vietnam. You think, that's a bit more backstory. I love backstory without ever having to say anything. Yeah. The best scenes in a movie I've ever seen in my life is in a film called Gross Point Blank, best soundtrack ever in here, where you don't even need to know what happened with John Cusack and his dad. He just goes to his grave and tips alcohol on it, and you know there's a lot of shit went down there. Don't need to say anything. That's what I like. I love backstory. But then the fucking episode 7 again, no one gets introduced the way these are my friends. She just takes around this bunch of quirky fucking idiots, like that punk guy.
Yeah,
idiot character of the year.
But this is the thing. This is what pissed me off. Is the reason why I feel like it would have been better if it had been spread over multiple episodes. Is that that wasn't even overnight, was it? She turned up, she fell asleep. They wake her up, and then off they go. And it's
then that evening they go and try and fuck someone up.
Yeah, so it's almost like there's no you've got to spend time with these people, not just from our perspective, but you've got to believe that she spent time with these people to give a shit about them.
Very clever. If you can make us love some people, and then if you can make us love some people in one episode, you've done really well. There's an episode of The Walking Dead where we fell in love. I did, with that bloke that Morgan stayed with the goats, and
Stickman.
Yeah, and that's how you do it. You just got to be really good at writing and introducing a bunch of dickhead person. Oh, she used to be in a mental home. She's just she's got crazy hair. Oh, you've been in a mental home. You've got to have crazy hair.
But they were
punk guys,
they were unlikable people.
Really unlikable.
That's the problem. You've got to make them
unfortunately, the number 8 was unlikable as well.
Yeah, she was a
cool ass trick she can do.
Yeah,
but I've seen her do it twice, and didn't need to explain it to me after how she does it.
Yeah,
got her trick.
Yeah, she said just a position there. It was just like, oh, this is how. It's like, no, we figured that part of ourselves. You know what I mean? We understand.
Yeah, we got it. It's good. But so we focus on episode 7 because it is so controversial. But the season itself, the finale. The last 15 minutes of episode 9, where you see them all at the ball together, that is a great bit. I want to see more of that, actually.
Did you read it or see any video about the controversy over the kiss and that?
I think there was a bit too much romance. They're quite young, the kids are.
Well, the thing was, apparently, because on Netflix they did sort of a bit like the Talking Dead type thing, where it's like...
Yeah, I've seen that.
Huh?
I've seen it on there, yeah.
Yeah, and what became apparent from that is that the girl who played the young redhead girl, she, when they turned up to do the scene, the other lads were sort of taking the mick out of her and saying, "Oh, there's a kiss scene." Well, they were actually doing it to wind up the black lad. They basically
Lucas,
So, and he was feeling uncomfortable, and she was feeling uncomfortable, and I think the Duffner brothers basically sort of said, well, they could see the tension and all that, and they felt, we're going to have to make this a scene now. Do you know what I mean? And I think that the redhead girl was obviously like, no, that wasn't in the script, and they kind of forced them to do it. Yeah, and they're only like, what, 13, something like that.
13, people were kissing and
But
things. It's fine.
I think the biggest problem is that, okay, it wasn't much of a kiss. As an adult, you're like, well, it was just a little peck.
Yeah.
But for a 13-year-old girl who, in her own words, has said that she'd never kissed a boy before in her life, this was technically her first kiss, and she was yeah. Well, there is that, but she was told on the day. There was no
She stitched someone up by saying that.
Yeah, it did get uncomfortable. You should watch it. The clip is quite uncomfortable because it almost borderline becomes an argument, but without escalating because they are aware that they're on telly. Because she was saying that was your fault, and he was like, "Oh, it's kind of your fault because of your reaction. We had to do it, and all this sort of stuff." And it's a bit.
I haven't been 13 for a while, for 20 years. I didn't know that Mike and Levin had a thing. I thought Mike and Levin had a really good friend connection. That's why I didn't know they were going to. So I know kids, adolescents, we all probably had our first kisses at 12 and 13.
If we want to criticise, I will say that that's one thing that I felt got a little bit driven home was like.
I thought they were just really good mates. I thought he was missing her because she was a great friend to the gang and
got a bit much.
But those last 15 minutes where Dustin's on his own and it's just brilliant.
Oh, that with the older sister comes over and
she's class, isn't she? Nancy.
Nancy, that's it.
She's class.
Friday, not Friday. Jason, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
There you go.
Poor old Steve sat outside on his own. And
so Nancy's with Michael Byers.
Michael Byers. Either way, those last 15 minutes were lovely. Then it all turns upside down and the big old weird fucking monster. They've quite got the budget to get close on him, but he's there with his long arms. But great TV, and that's what we've been watching pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. We've gone for nearly half an hour already. We've pretty much wrapped up the show.
Bang! So, but we love it. Stranger Things season 3. Hopefully it'll be 2019.
Yeah.
But we're going to see a slew of 80s aping shows coming out. I think. Now.
Exactly.
The budget's there for it.
So that's that. That's what we've been watching. I don't know if there's anything else you want to mention quickly. You've got like 2 minutes.
I watched a movie called Brawl in Cell Block 99 the other day. Vince Vaughn.
You told me you watched. Yeah.
Character reinvention role.
Any good?
Director of Bone Tomahawk. Uncomfortably violent, but great.
He's doing quite well in the series roles.
Bang, absolute bruiser. But that was a really cool film, possibly one of my top films of the year. But we'll do our top movies of the year.
We will at the end
of the
next
one, so we won't eat them up now. But I think it might be in there.
Excellent. Well, I have forgotten what I've been watching. I've started watching, although I didn't get to the end of it. Ghost in the Shell. It's not as bad as I thought it'd be, though. Did you watch it?
I think it's shit without seeing it.
Everyone would say it was terrible, but it was alright. I've never seen the anime. Do you watch the anime? I don't tend to watch anime.
Akira's overrated as well.
Oh, on that note, we're going to disappear into the shadows of the Upside Down.
It would be cool if you can do an effect. Can you do an effect? No?
Yeah, I'm sure I can.
Oh, cool.
Bye-bye.
Bye.